Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. When living ain't fun, you're living. Is it fun? Is it really fun? Is it as much fun as you thought it would be? And if it's not, why not? And if you don't know, why don't you know? And if you do know, why haven't you done something about it? Well, the obvious answer is either you don't know or you're afraid, which means either situation merits you in bondage. P-O-D, bondage. Bondage of ignorance, of bondage to fear. And yet and still, I want to know that you have been given a chance to grow beyond that. So I come to you not just because I'm such a willing participant, but because I have been taught that there is a God, one that makes your body, that allows you to put food in and take that food and change it to all kind of nutrients, and how your different parts in the body work with that food that you put in there to send the nutrients to certain parts of your body to do certain functions so that you can continue to be healthy and feel good and laugh and smile and talk. Man, that's a power that cannot happen from an accident. That's a power that cannot happen from a bang. That's a power that comes from being smart, knowing what you want and how to do it, how to get it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to you this morning, how many of you woke up today feeling very humbled and happy and thrilled? How many of you woke up feeling very good this morning just because you woke up and got out of bed? How many of you who felt like that continued feeling like that all day if you didn't have a job or didn't have any food at the table, or your kids were sitting there, couldn't go to school, or needed to go to the doctor, couldn't go to the doctor? I mean, these are kinds of problems that we find in a society, in all societies. This is the kind of situation that we find in the American society that exists as a product of a certain action. Actions that need to be dealt with that are never dealt with. I woke up this morning and I'm listening to the news about India. India, because the coronavirus, over 3,000 people a day most recently dying, being burned up in the streets, don't have the oxygen, just die. Oh my God. I could stand before you and literally let tears fall from my face like you're drawing water out of a faucet. But that's what's happening. Why is that happening? That's happening because we as a people of the nation, that's just not India. India has played a role in it, but that's not just India alone. That is a result of we, the people on earth, who have failed one another. That should not be happening in India. What is happening in the United States should not be happening. What is happening in Russia should not be happening. What is happening all over the earth should not be happening. It should not, because it was designed that we should live on this earth as we were in heaven. But it is lived on, and people give power to man. And this is the screw up that man has made. In America, poverty, crime, and violence, people of color, blacks, and others, over 400 years, ever since we've been in this country, treated as a second-class citizen, treated as slaves, blacks and women, all kinds of stuff for the power of a white man with money, and still white people with money. That doesn't mean that all white people are bad, but this is the crux of it. This is what's happening. This is what's running it in the United States. What's happening in Russia might be a little different. What's happening in Africa might be a little different. What's happening in China might be a little different, but the outcome is the same, which means they're doing the same things to the people. And here is the evidence, ladies and gentlemen. The people are fed up. The people are brokenhearted. The people's spirit are broken. They're disgusted. They're tired. They say, we got to do something. And what do? They stand up to protest. And the powers that be who are putting them in these positions say, you have to protest over here. Where's over there? Well, you can't be seen or disturbed with our daily activities. And now, my friends, they got in laws over in, I think that's the state of Florida, DeSantis. They want to pass laws that say you cannot protest. And if you protest, you better not don't rattle too much. Because the cops, rather than shoot you with guns like we've given them the authority to do all over this country, now they can just drive over you. And it doesn't matter. See, ladies and gentlemen, that's when you know you are in the pit of hell. That is statements of the pit of hell. When these people are set up there and try to take over the country by lying and cheating and stealing, coming in, they thought it was an accident. Really wasn't an accident. They was purposely Donald Trump was purposely put in office to do exactly what he's doing, to tear down this nation. It was already tearing down, but they were in a hurry to get it down. And he came in here to do that. And those people, my friends, who are supporting him, who sit here today lying, doing one thing just to make you confused so you don't know. And then they will do nothing to eradicate the problems. They come in and tell you that the other people are going to steal the election because I can't lose. I am God. That's basically what the president was saying. I cannot lose. I'm the greatest thing that ever happened to America. The greatest brain, the greatest mind. All of my folks were geniuses. And now here I am in the White House, and I cannot lose. And if I happen to lose the presidency, it's because there's other people are cheating, other people are stealing. Other people are going to do everything they possibly can to get me. Now you got all the people who the demons like you, like the president. When I say demons, I'm talking about people who don't give a stink about all people. That's what I'm talking about. People who don't care about all people. I'm calling them demons. Now they're supporting him. So when the people who care about some people say we can't have this turkey, and so they start passing the word. This is really a true turkey. We got to get this guy out of office. Look what he's done. Now look at the pain and suffering that he's caused you. Then he's all they trying to steal. And what is he doing? He's out there trying to steal while he got everybody focusing on the people that he says trying to steal. And he didn't even hide it. He called up to the Atlanta. I need this. Call over to wherever else he want to call. I need this. I need to win. I mean, right before your face telling the people to cheat and steal. And when that doesn't work, you call them out and say, let's take over this government. And when that doesn't fail, he still keep on saying they cheated me. They cheated me. Now he's getting people who saying that he cheated them, trying to bring them into a group and have them pretending as if they're doing something. Then they come out and say, see, I told you. Now these are the liars that have tried to do everything to destroy the country. Now they want to go out and come back and say, well, okay, I got the evidence. How do you get? Man, this is sick. This is pure sickness. Pure sickness. 3,000 people in India dying a day from the coronavirus. In the United States, so much hatred and racism and bigotry is going on. Is absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And someone says, well, it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. What if it had been if some politicians who come up and tell you all these lies about building infrastructure and trying to take care of the people, it's going to cause this kind of problem, inflation and all this, and we'll never get it back together. These are the people who set up the situation. These are the people who set up the situation. And when the people of color, people who losing their housing, people who can't afford to live in the system, people who can't afford gas, people who can't afford to send their kids to school, people who can't afford health care, when they say we're fed up and we're tired of it and want to get in the streets, and we're not going to go over those little spaces where you say we must go, we're going to stand right here where you say you don't want us, because you got to hear, we demand that you hear us. And when you stand up there to make it clear as night or day that you're hurting and you're fed up with it. And what do? Do they go back and answer your problems? No, my friends. What do? They will either send out the local police, or they will send out the state troopers, or both, or they will send out the feds, or next thing, National Guards, and they're beating you with sticks and stones. They're breaking your skulls, giving you concussions with blackjacks, or whatever they call them nowadays. They're spraying you with tear gas and other things that you don't want in your face. They're loading you up in trucks, putting you in jail, charging you. What do you call that? What do you call that? They call you evil. They're putting you in jail, calling you evil. They're beating you, killing you because of your color, calling you evil. Why? Because their plan is working against you, and you don't want to take it. You don't want to accept it. What do you think that is? And who, my friends, is going to stand before you and talk to you about God, the creator of the universe, the creator of your body, your spirit, and your mind, and the heavenliness that you desire? Telling you about that, and you walking around here following the dictates of men. Their system is based upon money. They want to make sure that they control that, because by controlling that money, they control you. They control you by that money. And when that money serves its purpose and you still don't fall in line, they got the guns. And what do they tell you? pay your taxes. Somewhere they say, render to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Well, see, when you're a prisoner, when you're a slave to the thinkings of Caesar, then everything belongs to Caesar. But when you have been changed and understand the truth, and you now understand, my friends, that you are a vessel of the almighty living God who walks according to the dictates of love, how in the hell can you follow the dictates of the system that says it's okay if you're hungry? It's okay if we kill you. How can you follow a system like that and call yourself any kind of decent human being? I don't care that you got a job, that you got a house, and you can pay your bills, you're not on the street. You are nothing if you can say that the people out there who are going through this persecution by a system that won't deal with their situation, you are part of the problem. Look at those Indians out there burning in the streets, cremating them because the people of the earth are heartless, possessed by some evil spirit. When we all can be laughing all across the globe. India got stuff that's unique to India. Asia got stuff that's unique to Asia. Africa got stuff that's unique to Africa. All the places of the world got stuff that's uniquely for them. And the people there to deal with that unique stuff. And a system designed so we can trade and share in all of the different stuffs all over the world. But it's tied up with somebody trying to make money. Talking about inflation. If money's the problem, well, we're going to take money out of it. What's that doctor's name in the Republican? His daddy was a doctor. What's that joke? I can't think of his name right now. Thank God I can't think of his name. Sitting up there talking about inflation. People suffering and going through changes. He's not. But look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this. You can listen to those people if you want to your own detriment. But I want you to know that this earth belongs to God. Everything that you use for food, for clothing, for shelter, for education, for health care, and medical care, it all comes from God. The ability to extract that into the tangible situations using human beings, that comes from God. Put it together, it makes available to whomever needs it, whatever it is, at their need, their want, or their desire, so that you human beings all over the globe can continue to live as though you are in heaven. And you don't have no president, no system of government that says that somebody can be homeless, somebody cannot have a job and want one. No, my friends, that is a pit of hell. And if that's happening in your country, I do not give a stink who you think you are. I don't give a stink whose God you say is serving you or you serving. You are a lie. You are serving Satan. Otherwise, that person wouldn't be homeless. That person wouldn't be hungry. The only reason that person would be homeless is if there's nothing available to house them or to shelter them. There's no way that anyone would be hungry unless there was no ability for food to be made available. Not in heaven. Not where God's love is. There's no way that education and healthcare would be denied where God is. And if it's happening anywhere in the world, wherever it's happening, it's because God ain't there. And what does that mean? That means in America, every Sunday you get up, this is me telling you this now. I'm not your preacher. This is me telling you what I see and what I feel in my spirit. Every Sunday morning when you are on that telephone trying to play like you in church, when you putting on your clothes going to church, out there driving your nice cars and sitting up in church talking about how good God has been in you, you have been a darn devil to God. You have been a darn devil to God. And if you think I'm lying, look around and see the suffering. And what kind of God that you serve that says that's okay? What kind of God that you serve that's find an excuse saying, well, if they would do what I did, they would have a job. They would have to have their pants hanging down. If they would do what I did, they wouldn't have to live over there in the ghetto when you robbed them, you lying snake. Jesus, they say, whom you love, say your father was a devil. And You didn't complain about that too much. Well, I got to say this. When living ain't fun is when you know the truth. In early days, they used to have a car, a T-Model Ford, something like that. 2021, you put those two cars together, you can't even compare them, except maybe they both would roll. But other than that, but you take 1492, the people 1492, and take the people of 2021, and where are the similarities? Oh, you might think that we've progressed, we've gone a lot of ways, but I guarantee you, in 1492, there were people who were hungry, who were shelterless, who couldn't get education, couldn't get health care. And I guarantee you, in 2021, the same thing is happening. It's more now. Those things that we have no control over just goes on natural. And it does exactly what it's supposed to do. As soon as we come in, we got to have our cut. Why? Because we are God's chosen people. God's chosen people. Who's God's chosen people? Every people on earth is God's chosen people. How many of you on earth have chosen God? The ones that have been murdered for standing up for love. They have chosen God, and they have been murdered. And being murdered for love is the evidence that you have chosen God. So that means those are God's people. Those are the people that heaven is waiting on. Those who say, I refuse to be controlled by Satan, and before I do, I'll make Satan kill me. Why? Because they know that God exists. They've accepted that reality, and if God does not exist, they don't care. They just are not going to be controlled by a devil just to get another piece of bread. And when some might say, have sex one more time. God, you got to be out of your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't talk to you no more this morning. I got to go.